ते आमचा व्हिडिओ परत बनवून गेला ना सर, जेवढे सर. ते माझं कोण घेऊन गेलाय?
Okay.
शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यम् धनसम्पदः
Good afternoon, everybody. I welcome all the eminent personalities who are going to speak today on this webinar organized by our Science College. We are Sri Shivaji Vidya Prasarak Sanstha and myself Kunal Patil. I am chairman of this 110-year-old Shivaji Vidya Prasarak Sanstha. We are into science, arts, commerce, and we run engineering colleges, some medical colleges. This trust has an hospital of 800-bedded hospital. In all the fields, this Shivaji Vidya Prasarak Sanstha is showing their presence.
आणि ते युट्यूबला आणि फेसबुकला पण ती लिंक टाकणार होती.
युट्यूबची स्टार्ट झालंय. येते का आवाज येतो का?
नाही
नवीन जायचं?
नाही ना. हॅलो हॅलो, आता येतोय.
हा बस एकदम पाहिजे. आता समोर कॅमेरा राहिला ना तिथे
हे खाली आयडिया एक 10 मिनिटं थांबून घ्यावं.
राकेश मला
हॅलो.
लवकर.
मी म्यूट करू का इकडे?
राकेश मला लवकर. हा झालं.
आणि टाइम टू टाइम सगळ्यांना ऍडमिट करत राहा म्हणा, वेळोवेळी बघून. बोरसे सर.
हा सर बोला. हॅलो हॅलो. हॅलो. आवाज येतोय सर मला.
ते शिट्टी कशाची वाजते? शिट्टी कशाची वाजते? त्यांना म्हणा तिथे कुचकुच शिट्टी कशाची वाजते म्हणा ती. मशीन चालू केलंय का?
बॅकग्राऊंड नाही बरोबर चालू. बॅकग्राऊंड चालू. कोणतं इथं घेऊ का? कॅबिन नाही रे पाहिजे. इथं उजेड बऱ्यापैकी येतोय. कुठे हाय का लाईट वगैरे? चल म्हटलं इथं उजेड चांगला आहे. तिथं तो बसलेला आहे ना.
Hello, Praveen sir. Am I audible? Okay. Sir,
Good evening to all. Yes, yes, yes. Within a 5 minutes, we will start our national webinar. Let the participant to come in the room. Thereafter, after 5 minutes, we will start it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Moses sir, kindly start. Moses sir, kindly start.
Yes, sir. I think so. 130 participants till now joined on this Zoom. While there is a simultaneously YouTube streaming is going on the Facebook and also on the YouTube. Within a short time, within a 5 minutes, we will start this national webinar. Just wait for 5 minutes. A chief guest is shortly arrived on the platform. So wait for 5 minutes. Due to this pandemic period, our college organized, this is the second national webinar from Sri Shivaji Vidya Prasarak Samstha, Lair Katmarbi Dr. P.R. Gogre Science College. This is 2 days national webinar, 14th and 15th of May. Up to now, 130 participants have joined to this national webinar. We are waiting only for a chief guest who will shortly join us. Once again, I request all the participants to stay with us. Very short span of time, we will start this national webinar. The topic
Moses,
of national, yes, sir.
Start sir. Maulika sir just joined.
Okay, very good. Now we are going to start this national webinar. Simultaneously, the people are coming in the room. But from my side, I'm going to start this national webinar. Okay, participants. Good evening, all the dignitaries, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a very warm welcome on behalf of Sri Shivaji Vidya Prasarak Samsthas, Lair Karmavid Dr. P.R. Gogre Science College, Dhule, who has clubbed all of us for this national webinar on the topic potential and application of indigenous bioresources. I also heartily welcome chief patron of this national webinar, Honorable Professor P.P. Patil, Vice Chancellor of Kavitri Bahnabai Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. Second patron, Honorable Baba Sahib Kunalji Patil, who is a member of Legislative Assembly of Dhule Rural and the chairman of Sri Shivaji Vidya Prasarak Samstha, Dhule. So for the preface of this national webinar, I would like to invite Dr. M.V. Patil, Principal of Sri Shivaji Vidya Prasarak Samstha's late Karma Dr. P.R. Gogre Science College, Dhule, to give the preface of this national webinar on the topic of potential and application of indigenous bioresources. Please, Dr. M.V. Patil, sir.
Good afternoon to all. Namaskar, all my dear friends and distinguished guest speakers, participants. I am Principal M.V. Patil, SSVPS Science College, Dhule. Good afternoon to one and all again. First of all, I welcome Honorable Vice Chancellor, Chief Patron of today's function, Professor Chief P.P. Patil. Our inaugurator for today's function, Professor Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor P.P. Mahulikar, Chairman of our Samstha, Baba Sahib Kunal Patil, eminent personalities who are going to speak for today's webinar, Professor Parabia from Veer Narmad South Gujarat University. He is a former dean, former BS chairman of this institution. Professor Dr. Falguni, Professor Dr. Naveen Kango from Sagar University, Professor Dr. Farzeen Parabia, and all other dignitaries, distinguished delegates, participants, students, and my dear friends. Dear participants, today we know that we are in the COVID-19 crisis and we are facing the work from home today. This is a national webinar. Friends, our college, Science College, was established in 1956, which was previously attached and affiliated to Pune University, Pune. And I feel proud to say that in 1990, in Khandesh, a new university was formed, namely North Maharashtra University, which is now presently known as Kaviyatri Bainabai Chaudhary North Maharashtra University, which is nicely doing his functioning in North Maharashtra and achieved a good ranking also worldwide. Friends, the authorities of university are always with us and they are always cooperating and organizing and guiding us for the various programs. And our college being a single faculty college with the science stream, the motto of institution of our college is Bahujan Hitai and Bahujan Sukhai, means for the sake of the people, for the sake of the society. We always lead towards the student-centric learning, and our college runs total 9 PG courses and 13 UG courses. We also run 8 certificate courses, 2 Bachelor of Vocational courses in under NSQF and 1 diploma course under UGC. In view of academic excellence, our college has re-accredited for the 3rd cycle and we have achieved A+ grade with CGPA 3.55. We have also achieved grants under FIST by DST, and we are also awarded by a Star College under DBT. Dear friends, today we all are facing COVID-19 outbreak, which has become a worldwide crisis due to all this. We are informed to stay home and work from home. Seeing this as an opportunity, we all are trying our level best to learn new techniques and update ourselves for future. Hence, we have organized this webinar under our life science department, that is botany, zoology, microbiology, and biotechnology. Here we have provided this platform to share your views, your opinions, new ideas, new techniques, which you have learned in this COVID-19 crisis days. We are greatly thankful to that we are having eminent and great scientists or great experienced workers who have worked in the field of botany, biotechnology, microbiology, and traditional medicines also. I'm thankful for this. The topic for today is potential and applications of indigenous bioresources. I'm thankful to my guru, Professor Parabia, who is my grand guru also. And from last 30 years, he is having blessings on me. So I am personally also thanking him. His experience will be shared in the first session today. And in the second session, Dr. Falguni will share her views in the second session. Now, once again welcome you all for this webinar and enjoy and discuss your views and share your opinions so that we can be fruitful for this webinar. I am once again thanking you all. Enjoy this webinar and have a good day. Thank you.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Dr. M.V. Patil has given a very nice preface. Without the interference, there is no conference, and without the disturbance, there is no conversations. Now, next upon, encouragement, enthusiasm, excellency is one of the major aspects of the organization. With an object of encouraging the spirit of research and innovation, we feel proud to host this national webinar on potential and application of indigenous bioresources. Now, I warmly welcome today's chief guest of this webinar, Honorable Professor P.P. Mahulikar, Pro Vice Chancellor of Kavitri Bahnabai Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. Before that, I would like to introduce Honorable Professor P.P. Mahulikar, sir. He belongs to the rural area of Maharashtra state, village Mahuli, which comes in the jurisdiction of Sangli district. Sir completed his post-graduation and doctorate of philosophy from Shivaji University, Kolhapur. Professor Mahulikar was the first person from his village to pursue the PhD degree. He was a lecturer in pesticides and agrochemicals. Initially, he was a director of School of Chemical Science in Kavitri Bahnabai Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. From March 2017, he has taken a charge as the first Pro Vice Chancellor of KBC NMU Jalgaon. He guided 19 PhD students and 1 MPhil student. 7 students are working under his guidance. He published 173 research publications in national and international repute. Professor Maulikar is always busy to create awareness among the teacher and in the young generation. He is one of the main pillars to develop the research laboratories and sophisticated instrumentation facility and strengthening the research activity at the School of Chemical Science, Jalgaon. He always encourages industrial collaboration and he always tries to contribute in a dream of former President late Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam vision for a developed India. I call Principal Dr. M.V. Patil sir to welcome Honorable P.P. Mahulikar sir by offering a bouquet. Thank you, Dr. M.V. Patil sir. The M.V. Patil sir has offering a bouquet to Professor P.P. Mahulikar sir. Just to give a claps, all of us. Thank you very much, Dr. M.V. Patil sir. We welcome Dr. P.P. Mahulikar sir. Before to start the speech of a chief guest, P.P. Mahulikar sir, now I will call all the dignitaries for lighting the lamp before the Ma Saraswati, who is the goddess of knowledge, music, art, wisdom, and learning. Lightning of the lamp.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते
Saraswati is the
दीपज्योतिर्
goddess of knowledge, wisdom, art, and learning. Now, I request Honorable Chief Guest of today's webinar, Professor P.P. Maulikar, to address the virtual gathering of today's national webinar. Professor P.P. Maulikar, sir, please.
Please unmute me. Hello.
1 second.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 1 second.
Yeah. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Continue,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Hello. Namaskar. Good afternoon to all you participants, chief guests, resource persons, organizers, and all. At the outset, I congratulate the team of the late Karmur Dr. P.R. Ghogre Science College, Dhule, including principal and chairman of this national webinar, Dr. M.E. Patil, president of this Samstha, Honorable Baba Sahib Kunalji Patil, conveners Dr. Sandhya Patil, Dr. Deepak Phan, all teaching, non-teaching staff, and supportive staff also. The Dr. P.R. Ghogre Science College, Dhule has organized 2 days national webinar on potential and applications of indigenous bioresources. Dear friends, as just chairman mentioned that we are facing a new problem of the century, that is COVID-19, since last 3-4 months. COVID-19, that is a corona attack, which was firstly identified at China, and then it has been spread worldwide in more than 220 countries in the world. World Health Organization has already declared that COVID-19 as an epidemic disease on 11th March 2020. In India, our Prime Minister Honorable Narendra Ji Modi, as well as in our state of Maharashtra, Honorable Chief Minister Uddhav Ji Thackeray have also taken step to protect ourselves from COVID-19 attack by declaring lockdown and other essential aids. As the lockdown has been declared from 23rd March 2020, our academic has been totally affected and our regular classroom teaching and learning process has been completely stopped. To combat this problem, all institutes, colleges, with universities have initiated online learning teaching process through various medias. Through these various medias, already in our university, the remaining syllabus, which was about 30 to 40% from various colleges and university campus schools, that has been completed by this through online teaching learning process. Even our teacher have initiated the quiz patterns, online MCQ patterns to practice for practicing our students for online examination and evaluation process. By considering this COVID-19 attack, we have learned much more about nature and our the present working habits. The today's national webinar, which has been organized by this college, is on most essential thrust area according to the need of time. That is a potential and application of indigenous bioresources. Dear friends, in last year we have observed continuous burning of forest in Brazil, America, and latest that is in Australia. That forest in Australia was burning continuously for more than 6 months. Number of biodiversities has been totally vanished from that area. And we all are aware that India is a unique place in the world where biodiversity is much more. Actually, it is a gift of God and nature for Indians. And it is a coincidence that there is no any perfect remedy to control the COVID in medicine. However, by our regular indigenous practices, by using medicinal plants and spices, we are facing much effectively the COVID-19. So it is a gift of nature and God for Indian that we have biodiversity. Number of medicinal plants are available in India region-wise. In North Maharashtra region, Satpura is rich with number of medicinal plants. Equally, the Sahyadri region is also well known in the world for various or different biodiversity in plants, birds, animals, and so on. However, since last 4-5 decades, because of deforestation, we are facing a lot of problems. The major problem is global warming, rise in temperature, then irregularity in monsoon, all seasons, number of problems associated with that deforestation. And in deforestation, we have lost this gift of nature or God, that is the number of medicinal plants also. So with this today's national webinar, I hope all resource persons from various places with their the topics to enlighten all participants about medicinal plants and bioresources in India. I expect from them to create awareness among the participants to cultivate more and more medicinal plants and to nurture or to protect them and even to save the all kinds of medicinal plants which are available in our country. It is a need of time. Regarding the resource persons, I congratulate the chairman of this webinar, Dr. M.U. Patil, principal, and conveners and his team, that they have grabbed this opportunity by inviting various resource persons, which are already renowned persons in their fields. The topics of these resource persons are definitely beneficial to all participants. All resource persons will enlighten on their topics which are highly useful, and definitely the lectures will be with fruitful outcome for participants, all teachers, and even students also. The national webinar for 2 days definitely motivate all participants to save, to plant more and more medicinal plants, indigenous to save the more indigenous bioresources, and to create awareness about COVID-19 also, and importance of our medicinal plants, including spices, that our Honorable Prime Minister also advised us to have 3-4 times in a day warm water, as well as various kadhas of spices. So this national webinar will be definitely a good opportunity for all participants to hear number of different topics from various renowned resource persons, and definitely they will get proper knowledge in this lockdown period, as I said, as a need of time. So with this brief, I personally, as well as on behalf of our Kavitri Behnabai Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon, and our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P.P. Patil, sir, I congratulate the team of this college, principal and chairman of this national webinar, Dr. M.A. Patil, president, Dr. Honorable Babasaheb Kunalji Patil, for his valuable support to organize this national webinar on in his college, convener Dr. Sandhya Patil, Dr. Deepak Phad, for their painful efforts to organize this conference on a good thrust area and theme, potential and applications of indigenous bioresources. Definitely this conference will be a grand success. With this brief, I declare that this 2 days national webinar on potential and application of indigenous bioresources is open for discussion as in this pleasant moment of inauguration function. So once again, thank you all, and all the best for all participants for gaining more and more knowledge on this potential and application of indigenous bioresources theme of this national webinar. So all the best. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah.
Almost, sir.
Unmute. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for your valuable guidance. Professor P.P. Mahlikar, sir, addresses regarding the COVID pandemic period timing and regarding this national webinar. He himself is an excellency. He is the renowned person in the green chemistry also. Thank you very much, sir. Professor P.P. Mahlikar, sir, the Pro Vice Chancellor of Kavitri Behnabai Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. Flowers will not grow if the stem doesn't allow it. Before that, education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world. Now the person who has consumed himself to change the society and the light, the darkness in the life of the students of rural area, the chairman of Sri Shivaji Vidya Prasarak Sanstha's and a member of Legislative Assembly of Dhule Rural, Honorable Babasaheb Kunalji Patil, I call Principal Dr. Yami Patil to welcome Honorable Babasaheb Kunal Patil by offering a bouquet. Thank you, sir. Dr. M.V. Patil, sir, is offering a bouquet to our chairman, Baba Sahib Kunal Patil. Give a big hand. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to request Honorable Baba Sahib to address audience of this national webinar on the potential and application of indigenous bioresources. Honorable Baba Sahib Kunal Patil.
Good afternoon, everybody. I welcome all the eminent personalities who are going to speak today on this webinar organized by our Science College. We are Sri Shivaji Vidya Prasarak Samstha and myself Kunal Patil. I am chairman of this 110-year-old Shivaji Vidya Prasarak Samstha. We are into science, arts, commerce, and we run engineering colleges, some medical colleges. This trust has an hospital of 800-bedded hospital. In all the fields, this Shivaji Vidya Prasarak Samstha is showing their presence. I'm really happy that this webinar has been organized by our Science College, and in this very difficult time of coronavirus pandemic, which has been affected the whole country, and this lockdown is affecting the day-to-day life of everybody, but still everybody is trying to work from home, and whatever possible we can give to the society, and whatever possible knowledge we can share, we are trying to do this. I'm really happy that everybody, all of you have joined this webinar, and I'm sure that all of you will share your ideas, your views, your technology, and you will definitely make this webinar very fruitful, and will share a lot of knowledge in this webinar. I really congratulate all of you to join into this webinar, and at the same time I'm not sure that how long this lockdown will continue, but I'm very sure that with the help of our doctors and our our trainers, and plus our police people, the whole society, we will definitely overcome this period of crisis, and with the great leadership, this country will definitely very soon will come back to the normal life. Till then, we should take care, and I again congratulate you and thank you so much for joining this webinar.
Thank you, sir. The chairman of Sri Shivaji Vidya Prasarak Samstha and member of Legislative Assembly of Dhule Rural, Honorable Baba Sahib Kunalji Patil, who always consumed himself to change the society and light the darkness in the life of students of rural area. Very valuable guidance given by Honorable Baba Sahib Kunal Patil. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. M.V. Patil sir to introduce today's resource person, Dr. Minu Parabia, who is ex-dean of Science of Faculty.
Okay.
There are two resource persons. Yes, sir. Please start.
Okay. I am happy and privileged to introduce Professor Dr. Minu Parabia, a young scientist of 72 years old. Today, also at the age of 72 years, he is working in field and encouraging all the youngsters. I am just giving his brief CV for your information. Professor Minu Parabia was born in 1948 and retired as a professor of biosciences. He was a dean of science faculty after serving 37 years at Veer Narmad South Gujarat University, Surat. He is a renowned plant taxonomist and field worker who has guided pioneering work, identification and status survey of medicinal plants of Gujarat. Under his guidance, 32 students have been awarded PhD degree who have developed and standardized herbal medicines for malaria, skin diseases, spondylosis, hemorrhoids, hypertension, this, again the cancer treatment, bronchial ailments, etc., etc. Prolific popular writer running daily as well as weekly column, namely Dadimana Nuska and Taruvar Aushadhi, respectively, in Gujarati. He has wrote about 400 and books and odd articles in Gujarati. He has also published about 82 research papers in national and international journals and several books, Innovate Heritage, etc. He is a member of long-standing at State Biodiversity Board, convener of Technical Committee of State Medicinal Plant Board, Gujarat. He is also a recipient of many prestigious awards. He has been awarded as a fellow of Ethnobotanical Society India, Indian Association of Plant Taxonomists, and Gujarat Science Academy. He has established and developed Sri Bapalal Vaidya Botanical Research Center, which is solely devoted to University of Surat. The studies, which is solely devoted to the studies in medicinal plants on campus of Veer Narmad South Gujarat University, Surat. He has handled many research projects and last being DST sponsored on development and standardization of herbal anti-malarial drugs in collaboration with Professor I.L. Kothari of SP University. Professor Parabia and the endowment fund has been established at the time of his retirement by the city of Surat. The fund hosts 2 gold medals and 4 fellowship for the poor students of the university and various colleges. So today we are having great opportunity to hear a great renowned personality, Professor Parabia. Now I would hand over the platform to the coordinators. Thank you.
Unmute, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. M.V. Patil, sir, principal of our college. Already introduced our today's eminent personality. We are eager to hear today's resource person, Dr. Minu Parabia. Flowers will not grow if the stem doesn't allow it. So directly, I hand over the mic towards our resource person, Dr. Minu Parabia. I call upon Dr. Minu Parabia, sir, to give your valuable guidance to our participants. Please, sir.
Thank you very much, Professor Borse and Professor Patil. At the onset, I thank the organizers for inviting an old man to get adapted to this new technology. This is perhaps for the first time that I am speaking before the audience, which I can't see. And this is, in fact, a very enchanting experience for a person like me, the person who has spent almost half a century with the forest and with the tribal people. My dear friends, I'm going to tell you something regarding the forest dwellers, the tribals, and the medicinal plants which are available in our forests of India. Before that, I must congratulate all the teachers of North Maharashtra University for having a wonderful person as your pro-vice chancellor. I heard Dr. Mahulikar, his depth of knowledge, his enthusiasm for the conservation of nature is remarkable and very commendable indeed. Sir, on behalf of all the people, all the teachers of botany, I thank you very much for this and supporting these colleges for doing a wonderful work. Even during this lockout period, they are busy in doing the academic work. Friends, now let us switch over to our main topic. Here, this slide, you can see that here is the report of Kapoor and Mitra, which was published in 1979, which says that there are nearly 160 leading pharmaceutical industries. Please don't go by this one number. This is just a sample. Actually, in Gujarat only, when one of my colleagues, Dr. A.P. Singh,
Sir, make a slide visible.
yeah. I have to share the. Uh, okay. Yeah, forgot to share the screen.
No problem, sir.
Okay, I will do it.
Yes, please. Take your own time, because without interference, there is no
Yeah,
conference.
that's right. Okay.
It will take 1 minute.
Kembose, sir?
Yes, sir.
I think sir is disconnected. Wait for 2 minutes.
Okay. I request all the participants hold the breath for 2 minutes, because resource person is adjusting himself, because the time has changed. So during this change in time, because a good event never ends in the word, they take only a pause and keep us waiting for the next. Parabia sir, a very eminent personality from the Gujarat. Everybody is eager to hear him. Now, screen is sharing with us. Within a short moment, we will hear him. Yes, sir. Right now it is visible. Yes, no problem. Okay. Very right. Okay, start, sir. No problem. I think so. He is adjusting himself. Once again, wait for 1 minute. Yes, yes. Now you are visible, sir, and your screen is also visible before that.
Ask him
Yes,
to
sir.
start his audio.
Sir, please start it. You just unmute yourself.
Yeah, Kembose sir, he is now on mic.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, sir. We are audible. Please start. No problem at
Okay.
all.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Sir, is there any problem from your side?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I am not very much used to this system. Now, gradually, I am learning. In fact, sorry
No
for
problem. Take your
keeping.
own time, sir. We will
Okay.
wait.
Now, is it okay now?
Yes, yes. We are hearing you, sir. No
And can you
problem at
see the
all.
slide also?
No, slide.
No, sir.
Initially, it was visible. Right now, not.
Achha, okay.
Sir, you press button share screen, and after that you select anyone from that particular panel.
Okay.
You press on share screen, and after that you select anyone from the panel. So you may see that PowerPoint presentation in that.
Okay.
Sir is adjusting himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. No problem, sir. Take your own time. During that, I would like to say something to the participants. PP Mahulikar sir said already regarding the pandemic period. Everybody is engaging to take knowledge. They are doing. Everybody is engaging in a faculty development programs. They are conducting webinars. Work from the home is going on during this pandemic period. But we have to take ourselves care. It is just like said that कहीं यादों का मुकाबला हो तो बताना जनाब, कहीं यादों का मुकाबला हो तो बताना जनाब, हमारे पास भी किसी की यादें भी हिसाब होती जा रही है. Even though we are apart from each other, but due to the new technology system, not much apart, we are very close to each other. बदल जाओ वक्त के साथ या फिर वक्त बदलना सीखो, बदल जाओ वक्त के साथ या फिर वक्त बदलना सीखो, मजबूरियों को मत कोसो, हर हाल में चलना सीखो. During this pandemic period, we have to take care of ourselves. During this 2 minutes, our resource person adjust himself. Now, sir, your PowerPoint presentation is visible. You please carry on now. Dr. Minu Parabia, sir, who is an eminent personality from the Gujarat University. As there are a lot of benefits of the ICT tools and technologies, at the same time, there is a interference, because it is said that without the interference there is no conference, and without the disturbance there is no conversation. Unmute yourself, sir, first. Yes, slide is visible, but voice is not there. I call my colleague, technical personnel, Dr. Rakesh. Please allow Dr. Pariyabia to unmute. Make a host yourself.
Hello. Can you hear
Yes, sir.
me?
Yes, sir. Audible and now visible.
Okay. Okay. Now,
Yes, got
now
it, sir.
let us start then. Okay.
So at last you learn this new technology. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that's right. That's right. It's a good one. The teachers should be a student first. Then only the
Yes, sir.
teacher can go ahead. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So what I was telling you that referring to about the so the article by Kapoor and Mitra, it was a report on the pharmaceutical companies manufacturing herbal drugs in India. But this 160 is just a sample because one of my colleagues, Dr. A.P. Singh, when he worked on the pharmaceutical companies survey of Gujarat, he could find nearly 750 firms registered actually. But then when he actually started surveying, he found that more than 50% were just defunct. They had registered, but then they were not manufacturing or they never started even. And then afterwards also the getting the information was very difficult to extract the information from the pharmaceutical companies. But here, these 160 was a sample from all over the country. And out of that, they could record nearly 1,674 pharmaceutical preparations, the formulations, actual formulations. And they were made from 542 species of medicinal plants. And then again, they uh, classified that and found that 70 are 17, 17 are the most consumed one. As against that, there is one another recent report by FRLHT. Those who are working with the medicinal plants must have been very familiar with Dr. Darshan Sankar's establishment, FRLHT, who has published a work of Dr. Pushpangadan, the famous botanist. And he says that there are nearly 7,500 species in India which are used as medicine. Now, this table shows the 17 species which are most commonly consumed. At the top of the list, you can find the Triphala, the most famous Ayurvedic preparation. Harda, Beda, and Amla are mixed and made a very wonderful preparation. And the second is Glycyrrhiza glabra. Here I have made it red in color just to denote that it doesn't grow in India in a large quantity except a little bit from Kashmir. Gujarat had tried long back, some 20, 25 years back. One of my friends, late Dr. Raju Shah, he had tissue cultured and distributed these. Some of the farmers they took up, but because of want of support from the pharmaceutical companies, they failed. And most of these licorice or mulethi, we are now importing from Iran and Afghanistan. The Piper longum is another one. You can see that it is used in 133 different preparations. Then there's a whole list. You are coming. Let us go below in the list. I would draw your attention to another very important plant, Ashoka, Saraka Ashoka. Saraka Ashoka is very well known to Indians. Sita Mataji had been kept by Ravana just to get rid of Ashok, the sadness from the mind of Sitaji, so as she will agree to the proposal of Ravana. But then this Saraka Ashoka is no longer in a good quantity available in India. If you go through almost all the forests except some part in Western Ghats and then some part in Eastern Himalaya, the Saraka Ashoka is no longer found in wilderness in a good quantity. It is almost critically endangered species of the country, though it is of great utility as far as Ayurveda is concerned. So I would request all the people to take a part and then spread this one. The another important thing I would like to mention about Saraka Osaka is that it will start flowering and giving you fruit after about the age of after attaining age of nearly 10 years, and then it will be functional for giving seeds up to 10 years and again. So and after at the age of 20 or so, it undergoes a kind of say menopause and it doesn't produce the seeds. This is what my experience is. I would like someone else to correct me also. But then, and therefore, what I urge is that keep on planting and have the new plants of Saroka Asoka if you want to conserve this. Hemidesmus indicus and Acorus calamus both are underground part, very important species available in Gujarat and Maharashtra both. These 14 species are critically endangered reported by Dr. A.P. Singh when he did his doctoral with our university. The first in the list are antidesma. Antidesma is not that much medicinally useful, but Tecomola undulata is certainly very useful. It is anti-cancer. One Rohitacaris is prepared out of it. Below that, you will find the Silastus paniculata, a very wonderful plant. It's a huge liana. The casey colored, the orange colored seeds, it produces oils, and it's supposed to be a very good brain tonic. And because we keep on collecting the seeds, take out the oil out of it, and now no longer it is becoming a proliferative species in the forest area. And therefore, I recommend that the care should be taken to conserve these plants. Similarly, the same is for Cretiva nurvala. The sixth one is Hymenodictyon. It is also becoming now critically endangered. Why did I include it and made a special mention of it? Nowadays, you must be hearing that COVID-19 all over the world, the scientists and the doctors, they are trying to fight that with some kind of antimalarial drugs like chloroquine, at the same time, the artemisinin, then you see some other people also trying to have the anti-malarial one. Now these hymenodictyon, then Alstronis scholaris, our Swersa chirita, our Kalmic or Androcaphis paniculata, they are all anti-malarial. I would request the young researchers to take up something to test this anti-malarial drug as anti-COVID drug to work with. Mallotus is an anthelmintic, and as such, the production of Mallotus, philippensis or the Campilac or Kumkum is very less because they are only the epidermal hairs which are removed from the ovary wall. Semicarpus anacardius is the 10th in the list, very important plant, very strong allergen, but at the same time, the seeds are called Godambi. And this area, I mean the Khandes area, the Khandes tract is very famous for having a good the quantity of Semicarpus anacardium, and the seeds are taken out by the tribal people and sold as Godambi, very tasty one, but only the cough or the Vata Prakriti people can take it. If it is eaten by Pitta Prakriti, it causes a very severe, say the allergy on the body. Spondias is very important. Then the Strictus potatorum, very good for clarifying the water. Nirmadi, just as you say that the Amalner in Maharashtra, where the Neer, the water is without any kind of mull, without any kind of debris, without any kind of say the pollution. And similarly, this Strychnos potatorum can make your water nirmal, and very important, it should be taken care of. Now here is the list. It's a big list. I'm not going to read it to take up a lot of time, and we are already short of time because of my inability to use this gadget. I have delayed it. So friends, here I have listed the part which is utilized for that particular species. Say for example, the roots of eagle, gum of sterculia, bark of terminalia. Now here I will just mention one or two things, and then we will proceed further. When you take out the roots, eagle marmelos root is an ingredient of dasmola. Dasmola is a very important compounded drug of Ayurveda used for Vata Roga and so many other problems, even for the postpartum treatment of a lady. This dasmola is a very good medicine, and this eagle is one of the ingredients. It's a huge tree. When you take out the roots, naturally a tree would die. So that is a destructive method. The circular urines, the people don't know how to extract the gum without causing a damage to a tree. And because of that, the secondary infection of the fungus affects the circular urines and gets killed. Similarly, Arjuna, at least in Gujarat, we know that now the forests are almost totally devoid of Terminally Arjuna. Criminalita is still there, but Arjuna is not there. And because of that, only it is left over either as a revenue tree or say the garden tree. Very important for the heart as well as for the bone fractures. So this is another one where the 61 medicinal plant, there are two slides, one and one will be after that. We says that the the state pharmacies, I mean the Gujarat state pharmacies are using it. At the top of the list is Comifera vitae. Of course, the Gujarat and Rajasthan are the two states which produces the maximum amount of Google, and Google is a yoga vahi, and it is mixed with so many other medicines, and the different kinds of Google are prepared, manufactured by Ayurveda. So this Comifera vitae is now becoming very rare because after attaining the, say, the age of nearly 7 years, the Google could be produced out of it. Once you extract the Google, the plant would die. It's hardly, say, the 6 or 7 feet tall, not a very big one, a shrubby kind of say, the desert plant, and then it dies after giving you that Google. And therefore, a project was given to National Medicine Plant Board by the State Medicine Plant Board for 8 crores. 8 crores have been sanctioned, and in a large way, this so the plantation has been taken up in Saurashtra and Kutch. And that too, we are very trying that it should be through the seeds. As a botanist, I think that only the seed should be used for the wilderness. The cutting will produce the clones, and then when the clones are there, you are stopping the process of evolution. In a time to come, it may not remain, and therefore whenever the farmers, it is okay for farmers can go for clones. Farmers have the different kind of things as the requirements, but when it is a case of wilderness, only seed propagation should be recommended. So this is one Comifera. Here is a whole list. You can refer. I would request the organizers to give it to the participants so they can use it for the purpose. This is another. Here, this is another slide showing the another 61. Okay, let us go ahead. They were the another one which were utilized. You can see them. Now, how to proceed further for helping the tribal people and the village people? The first thing which is listed over here is they prepare people's biodiversity register of the village along with biodiversity management committee. My dear friends, the central government by act has established the two major boards. The one is the biodiversity board and the another one is the medicinal plant board, national medicinal plant board, and they have got branches in each and every state. Say for in Gujarat, we have Gujarat State Biodiversity Board and Gujarat State Medicinal Plant Board. I am associated with both the boards, and for medicinal plants, it is still almost for now 16 years. I have been very closely associated with the medicinal plant board of our Gujarat state. And this biodiversity board has done a very commendable work under the aegis of Dr. A.P. Singh when he was a member secretary of these. Uh, Out of nearly, say, the 1,200 villages, nearly 200 villages are already covered for creating biodiversity register. What do we mean by biodiversity register? Is to have to prepare the passport data for each and every biological life which is existing near or within the village. It could be a plant, it could be insect, it could be a bad bug, it could be lice in the hair, or it could be fungus, anything which is alive, which is alive. It should be registered, whether harmful, whether helpful, whether useful or not. But everything is to be recorded in biodiversity register. It's the concept. You know that it had been given by a very famous botanist, ecologist, but now that this is all this should take it up. Younger researchers and friends, wherever you are, please try to prepare the biodiversity register of your village and along with that biodiversity management committee. Now, what is happening? Anybody can come to your village and at their own sweet will, they will collect the material and take it away. कोई भी आएगा लेके चले जाएगा. People don't know what is it, for what for it is taken, and the local people, they don't have any say in this. So when the BMC is there, BMC has a right to stop them and ask for the economic return out of it. The second step is to identify the species worth commercial utilization. Naturally, when the PBR is ready, that list of species will also be ready with it. Then you should quantify it. Say, for example, asparagus, shatavari. Now, how much of the shatavari or asparagus is available in your area? And then what would be the sustainable, exploitable quantity that has to be worked out? That is the work of agricultural sciences as well as the botanists. Both of them can join hands, work together, and then work like a hand and glove. And then they have to quantify and then decide that what quality they should allow to be exploited from that village. Otherwise, the plant will be lost. The next one is the cooperative energy and the water management. In Gujarat, there is one village in Anand Taluka. It is called Mujkuwa, and NDDB, that is the National Dairy Development Board, helped them, and with one another, say the program of central government, which is known as NBMMP. This NB is National Biogas and Manure Management Program. This wonderful one. I congratulate the central government and state government for taking up, and they are helping the villagers. All of you can also take help of this the board or the program, and then ask the grant from the central government, and then develop a biogas plant. They have a cooperative society for biogas, and the whole village is depositing the cow dung production from their house to that the central plant, and each one and now this village is totally self-sufficient as far as the fuel gas is concerned. Village processing unit, this is in fact my dream. For so many years, I've been kept on saying this, and state medicinal plant board of every state can help you to develop that. And this, what I mean by this processing unit is that every taluka place can have a small place where you can have a solar dryer where the material could be dried properly, and then it could be processed, packed into a small sachet or the bottles, and then can be given to the producer. So when this kind of value addition is there, the people will be largely benefited. There is a whole project on it, but this is not the time for that. I'm just referring and letting you go. There must be development of the herbal gardens and the nurseries in the schools, homesteads, gochers, and the roadsides. This is very important. Please ask a school to do that, to have this kind of nursery, and the state medicinal plant board will definitely help you in doing this. This is the threats I have listed over here, the threats to the biodiversity. They are all well known. Say, for example, any management or any development project, and the first thing is to be destroyed is biodiversity. Here, most important thing which I have to mention on the list here, the blue colored one, the last one, the forestation. The forestation I have listed as a threat to the biodiversity. Naturally, this will surprise you that how the forestation can say the can be an enemy or foe to the biodiversity. Actually, what happens, friends, that whenever the forests are clear cut, almost everything is destroyed from it. And then when it is to be reforested, when total barren area is to be forested, it is called afforestation. And when the forest is cut and the another set of forest is to be developed, that is the reforestation. So whenever the forestation is done, there is a human tendency to plant only the economically important plant like a teak wood or maybe acacia catechu, not more than that. Only few which you can count on your fingertips, they are selected and they are planted. So the human tendency and the human limitation also, you can't say the mimic nature so easily, and therefore even this the forestation program they are doing it. So one should be very careful. The another important part of the threat which I have listed over here, please pay attention to this. One is a planning failure. Plants are made to use natural resources in ways which they cannot sustain because of their inherent fragility. What happens is that, my dear friends, in old days, when a person was getting ill, he would go to a village Vaidya, maybe one or the one Vaidya among the cluster of 2, 3 villages. He would study the case, and then he would ask him to come next day. The Vaidya himself will go to the surrounding area, will collect the material, bring it home, and will have a custom made medicine prepared for that patient. just like your tailor prepare your clothes like that. Now it is not the case. All Vaidyas are using the medicines prepared by the pharmaceutical companies, and all the pharmaceutical companies are now talking about the worldwide arena, the international arena where they want to sell there, and they are selling. Some of our good Gujarat pharmacies are also having a good spread all over the world. So there is nothing wrong in it. But then when it goes to the world arena, naturally the total amount of collection what they have to make is tremendous, and that is and therefore the fragile ecosystem is disturbed. Market failure. The people who benefit from damaging living systems do not bear the full cost of that damage. This is very important. We city dwellers, we use the forest one. So we are not so careful about what is happening there in the forest areas among the tribal people. The people, those who are affected, are the tribal people. So we use it, and the effect is to be borne by the tribes. So this is the market failure. Excessive wealth among some individuals, making them so remote from the rest of the society that they become reckless of damage to the living system which sustain the society. Is it that you must be knowing that when you people go to the restaurant, they order so many things, and then they hardly consume little bit, and rest of that goes to waste. If your house is a big house is there, all the lights are on, all the fans are on, all the ACs are on, and then hardly you are in a one room or two room, and the rest is just waste. So your ability to pay must not become your ability or your right to use the natural resources. Resources belong to all, and then it should be used very, very judiciously. Excessive poverty. This is also very important. A tribal fellow who doesn't have anything to eat, what they will do? Naturally, anything they see which is moving or anything which is edible, he would just grab it and eat it. Marta kya nahi karta? Wo, you see that the hunger is a very great problem, and therefore it should be taken care of. It is the duty of the rest of the society to take care of this such deprived people. Open access exploitation. Open access means now all our tribal, our forest areas, they have got a beautiful roads now. By having this kind of road and good infrastructures, we we think that we are developing, but actually this is not the development. We are providing the facilities to the poachers. These poachers, they they exploit the forest tremendously. Now, when you collect the medicinal and aromatic plants, what are the different forms? Either the whole plants are collected, the underground parts like root, tuber, wood and bark, leaves, flowers, fruits and seeds, or exudates are collected. So when the collection is made by two methods, whether it is destructive or non-destructive. So one should go for the non-destructive and the renewal way of one rather than the destructive one. I will go speedily. Here, these are the last these few slides which tells you that which particular species say the contributes by which particular kind of plant part, whether the whole plant.
Should I continue, sir? Next
Sorry,
slide.
but yeah, I press some for changing of the slide. I am getting a bit confused. It doesn't get changed so easily.
Okay.
What is the method?
Now, sir, I'm changing the slide actually.
Okay, you can change. Okay, that's fine. Please change it.
Okay.
Next slide.
Please.
Yeah. Here is a list of the medicines obtained from the flowers. You can see Madhuka, rose, Bombyx mulberrica, buta. All these flowers are in use. Next, please. This is the list of the fruits and seeds. Next, please. Medicines from gums and exudates. As I told you, when the gum is taken out, the plants may die. But here, I want to point out the phoenix and borassus, the khajuri and tal, from where you get madi and tadi or nira. And the one tree keeps on giving you for so many years to come. The plant doesn't die on extracting. So similarly, for say the our Hevia brasiliensis or the rubber tree, they have developed such a method so as for years to come, for so many years, the gum is extracted out of the rubber tree. So can we do the same thing for all the gum producing plant or not? That is what is necessary. Now the next one is the processing techniques and procedures. There are so many different processing techniques. Next, please. Next, please. After that, there is the plants have to be extracted for making the different kind of the formulation, and these are the pre-extraction preparation. Either it is the air drying or it is dried in direct into the sun. And I recommend that some engineers should develop a nice quality of the solar dryer where the sun rays directly don't impinge upon the material, but only the hot air is circulated and the drying can be facilitated very easily. Next, please. Next, please. Yeah. This is the penultimate steps for the urban development. The shelf life estimation, that is, nothing is known about the shelf life of the prepared material from the herbs. Some of the companies, they are doing it, but hardly any data is available for a general public. The packaging and labeling, even still today, it is not proper as far as the herbal medicines are concerned. So many things are hidden or so many extra things are added into it, and then nothing can be done for that. Storage and transportation, you have to create in a proper way so as the material which is prepared and developed in the herbal this rural area can be taken to the urban areas. Quality assures and quality control, I will be showing you in the next slide, and the proper documentation about every step. Next, please. When it comes to quality control, the first is genuine raw material meeting with the pharmacognostic standards. Say, for example, there are many plants where the correct identification is not done. Say for cider, any species of say their cider or abutilon are named as bala. Or when you say arc, either it is a Procera or Gigantea, you don't know. Anything would be collected and then it will be added to it. So proper, genuine identified material should be used, perfectly processed. If it requires a sun drying, then do sun drying. If it is to be done by only air drying, do it in the shade air drying. It should be totally free from insect carcasses. Whenever we did some of the quality control criteria study from the market samples of the herbs, we found that lot of insect carcasses are there. The dead insects, they are lying there. Rodent feces, the mice, and they are running through it and they leave their fecal material. The bird feathers, soot, and the dust, lot of dust is there. You know that in our country, in any tropical country, you cannot make the totally dust free atmosphere. It should be totally free of fungus, fungal aflatoxins, and the microbial load. Certain admissible amount of microbial load is allowed. Before beyond that, it should not be. Then the minimal acid insoluble ash. Any ash which is prepared from the organic material will be solubilizing very readily in acid. But when there is a silica, silica means nothing but dust. So when the dust is there in your material, the silica will be there, and this will come out as the acid insoluble ash, which will be minimal, possible to have the good quality material. Then the three things, last these three things which I have listed over here, they are very, very important as far as the international market is concerned. Your material should be totally free from pesticide residue, heavy metals, and radionuclides. Otherwise, it cannot go further. Next, please. Now, last two slides, they are suggesting the plants which are having the cultivation potential, chlorophytums, with mostly your Maharashtra is very famous, especially the Khandas one. Jalgaon's Mittal Dada is well known for providing all that, and a very good plant. Tavernier cuneifolia, in the next column which you are seeing with blue color, it is actually having the similar property like Glycyrrhiza glabra. It is our Kutch plant. In Kutch desert it grows. I want somebody to take up a research on that, compare it with this, and find out the comparative phytochemical, say the phytochemistry of Taverniera, compare it with Glycyrrhiza, and if possible, can develop the agro economics for this Tavernier cunifolia. It has a good, say that the potential. On the right hand side, you can see ephedra and leptadine. Ephedra again, very important plant, has got ephedrine, a very good chemical which is useful for asthma, the dam swasa dama ke liye. Or leptadenia is very good for so that eyes as well as a good galactagogue. And therefore, for animals as well as for the human beings, leptadenia is useful. The dried one is sold in the market at 200 to 250 rupees per kg. Our Gujarat Forest Development Corporation has taken up this project to develop these leptadenia, so the samples with the help of one NGO at Dediyapada, that is Adi Jati Aushad, and they are distributing these saplings to the people. Farmers can have it on their say the margins of the farmer. No need to go have occupy the whole of their the field, and then keep on cutting it. It can thrive for many years to come. Can withstand pruning. It's one. Urea picta, another very important dasmul ingredient, and which should be preserved, and somebody can take it up for the so that the cultivation. Next, please. Here again, Commiphora vitae, I have already told you. Saraka asoka, we have already discussed. The first one here in the list is Cissus cordingularis. We have developed medicine out of it for bone fracture healing and for the spondylosis, and we are constantly in need of that. Similarly, in the list is Pterocarpus centellinus, not a Gujarat plant exactly, but it grows in Gujarat and Maharashtra and the other, all the tropical areas, starting from southern, the hills, and it should be because this Pterocarpus centellinus can fetch a very high international prices. Next, please. Next, thank you very much for the patient hearing. You can stop it.
Hello. Thank you, Dr. Minu Parabia, sir. Thank you for your valuable guidance. Since yesterday so many audience called upon me, they were very eager to listen you because of your fantastic lecture. Really, they will get benefited by your lecture, sir. Now it is a time for the question answer. So I would like to tell audience to ask some few questions. Now we shall proceed further for the question answer session. The audience are welcome to put forward their queries, if any, before our esteemed speaker, Dr. Minu Parabia. We will unmute mic of audience. The question and answer here I am reading from my charts. I will select some of the few questions only. There is a one question from Batiba Rana to all participants. Pharmaceutical companies for outsourcing of collected herbal raw material. How to tie up with the pharmaceutical companies for outsourcing of collected herbal. So this is a question to Dr. Minu Parabia, sir. Are you hearing, sir? Dr. Minu Parabia, sir. Dr. Rakesh?
I heard.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There are some questions, sir. This is the question answer session.
Yeah, I heard the question. Now I'm
Yes.
giving an answer to this one.
Yes,
There
sir,
is
please.
one web portal named as e-charak.
Okay, okay.
And I request all those who are interested in medicinal plant one, they should download this e-charak. And on e-charak, you have the international demands and all these suppliers. So with that, you can be in a good company. Moreover, our forest departments, all the forest department has got Forest Development Corporation, and through this Forest Development Corporation, you can route your production. Not only that, but all the state medicinal plant boards have published the minimum support price for the medicinal products. So you can do it through them also.
Thank you, sir. Now I shift this mic to Dr. Praveen Male, sir, to select some few questions from the audience
Thank
and
you very
ask it.
much. Okay.
There are some few questions, sir, till now.
Sure,
Okay,
sure.
sir.
Okay,
The
please.
another question is from Rani Sheikh. What is the proportion of the drug to take for improve immunity?
Hi, for immunity. Okay. Actually, we have prepared one. So one, can I send it to Dr. Patil, who can give it to you? Because this will take up a lot of time here if I give you with the. Otherwise, one simple thing I will tell you. Giloy is the best thing, and one Giloy preparation is available in the market. It is named as Sansamani Vati. Jandu sells it under the name of Balagoli, and the other companies sell it in under the name of Sansamani Vati. My own company makes it one, and that is named as Allergon. So the either you, if you have a fresh gallo, take out the juice of the Giloy and then take it. It's the best for the development of your immunity. And the another thing is that you prepare one small decoction in your house, which contains ajwain, ajwa you know, haldi, sont, that is a dry
Yeah,
ginger, kalonji, and
yeah,
kalijiri.
yeah, yeah.
Just prepare this decoction and drink it throughout the day, which is very good to fight the any kind of the influenza or any kind of flu causing viruses. Is the best one. Okay. Any other question?
Dr. Praveen Male, please ask any one question selected from your side. Dr. Praveen Male, sir, please. If not, then there is a question from Durgesh Sharma, sir.
Aye.
Is there is any plant for the medicinal plant which is for the mouth cancer, which is
Yeah.
useful for the mouth? Yes, sir, please.
As I told you, the Giloy is best, and the another one, not exactly the but Triphala, one can use it. One is a Triphala, gargling with Triphala water that helps with the Triphala
Yes.
decoction. And one Unani product is there, which is named as Akakia. Actually,
Okay.
it's an Arabic name for now we are pronouncing it as acacia, ACACIA. But originally that gum Arabic and this Arabic babul had been pronounced by Arabic people as Akakia. And the fruits of babul, they are crushed, put into the hot sun for 2 3 days. Again, they are crushed and then mix that powder with water, and then you gargle it. That helps a lot. That helps a lot. Okay. And the preparation of that triphala for gargling, even gomutra could be used for gargling, which helps a lot. In Wagaldara in Gujarat, about 80 kilometers south of Surat, there is an institution called RM Dariwal Cancer Hospital, where they are giving free treatment. I have been instrumental in establishing that in the initial formative years for that cancer hospital. It is working at Wagaldara, 16 kilometers away from Valsad railway station. It's a very good hospital. You can take your patients there. The treatment is given free of charge for any kind of cancers.
Thank
Yes,
you, sir.
most welcome, sir.
Next, Dr. Yuvraj Sonone has a difficulties. He is live with us.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Yuvraj Sonone, sir. Please ask your question.
Yeah, please tell me.
Sir,
Hello.
which plant is used for hypertension?
For hypertension, based is our Sarpagandha. Sarpagandha vati is available in the market. One tablet 3 times a day. It is good. We are preparing one another one which is named as Piplark. Piplark is developed from a plant called Phylla nodiflora, which works very well for that. Even Arjun Churna helps up to certain extent for any kind of the heart problems. I would recommend for anyone who is suffering with any kind of heart problem should take 5 gram of Arjun Churna twice a day, either directly with water or prepare a kshir pak, means boiling it with water and the milk.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, most welcome. Okay. I'm eager to hear the next speaker, who is a very good one, my student, and very good worker, researcher on medicine plant, Dr. Falguni Seth. Question. Skin diseases के लिए am I heard?
Yes, sir.
For
Yes, sir.
skin
You're
disease,
audible.
somebody asked. Yeah, the Mahamanjisthadi is available in the market. You can prepare the decoction from Mahamanjisthadi Kada. Don't take the prepared bottle or the prepared tablets. Use as the powder, and then boil it in your home, and then take it, which is the best for any kind of skin disease.
Yes, sir.
I
Thank
can
you.
see Dr. Falguni here on the screen.
Sir, 1 minute.
With that.
There are
Thank you very
so
much.
many questions, sir. There are so many questions, but it is
Yeah.
not possible right now to be answered right now.
Sir, you can
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
you can
We
put my
provide the
last
email
slide
address
again.
of viewers to
Last
all
slide
the
again,
participants.
where my phone numbers are there. They can contact me anytime on the phone.
You are
Okay, they can contact me anytime on the phone or on
definitely,
WhatsApp.
sir. We will provide. We have
My
the
phone
email
number,
address of all participants. We will provide your
Okay.
phone number and email address so that they will personally contact later on. But
Yeah.
there are some questions also. Some people are asking regarding the coronavirus. Is there is any plans? So many questions.
we can
but forget about it. We
do
will
it.
see because there is a
What
little
we
time. Yes.
No, what we do is let us hear
Very good
Dr. Falguni
interaction.
first, and then we can answer the other questions.
Then we will discuss.
Yeah,
I'm
waiting
one
here.
participant who that there is one participant who wants to directly contact you by this webinar. Please, only one allow, only one person directly who is contacted so that we can use the technology also. I would like to call Rakesh. Please, anybody who is raising hand, please unmute him.
Okay.
Dr. Rakesh.
Yes.
If anybody who is raising hand and asking a question online,
yeah,
please give him a spotlight. A last question from the audience. Those who wants to directly ask here on the Zoom app.
Yeah.
So that we can spotlight him.
Dr. M. Nafis Iqbal is there, I think.
Yeah. Okay, no problem, sir. Unmute him. Or
I
tell them to
unmute
unmute them.
Okay. But whether he is there.
What is his name?
Dr. M. Nafis Iqbal.
Dr. Iqbal, sir, are you hearing us? Dr. Iqbal, sir, you asked one question to Dr. Mino Parabia. Are you hearing? Are you audible, sir? If you want to ask one question from your side, then come on the Zoom app. If there is a problem, then okay, no problem. We will move further. Is there anybody, another person who is raising his hand?
Sir, continue, sir. Continue. Sir, continue.
No problem.
Next session, sir.
Definitely. Yes, very nice presentations. Dr. Mino Parabia has given excellent guidance to all the participants. Since yesterday, we were very eager to heard him, and really he presented very nice and excellent presentation over here. So it will be great honor to Dr. Parabia by saying a few words. Plant some value. Plants in your new generation, they will smell in the whole world as they grow up. This is the simple way to clean the environment, whether inside or the outside, everywhere the fragrance will be spread. Now, there is another second resource person, Dr. Falguni Seth Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Government Science College, Bilal, Gujarat. Now, I would like to call Dr. Sambhaji Patil to introduce second resource person. Today's second resource person, Dr. Sambhaji Patil, please come on the stage.
Yes, sir. Namaste. Good afternoon and welcome to all in this session. It is my pleasure to introduce speaker for the session, Honorable Dr. Falguni K. Seth. Dr. Falguni Madam secured with BSc degree from Bhavnagar University, Gujarat. She completed postgraduate and doctoral degree from Veer Narmad South Gujarat University, Surat, under the guidance of Professor Minu Paradia. During her doctoral work, she availed prestigious DST fellowship as a research associate and worked on evaluation of calotropy species on human skin alignments and developed the formulation to treat skin diseases. She has published 15 research papers and 3 books. Dr. Falguni said, work as a senior innovation officer at National Innovation Foundation NIF Ahmedabad, where she required to make field trips and also been contact with national level laboratories and collaborative agencies for the validation of the herbal medicinal claims and made dissemination and promotion of the knowledge received from the grassroots. Dr. Falguni said, work as a research scientist in phytochemistry at RM Dhariwal Cancer Institute, which is Ayurveda at Wagandhara, Valsad. Her teaching career started with Institute of Biotechnology, Bardoli. Then she worked in JNM Patel Science College, Surat, and at presently she is an assistant professor at Government Science College, Bhilad, Gujarat. Dr. Falguni said widely travel and visiting different forests of the countries and to the research institute. She received special training of international level in Ayurveda in advanced field course in ecology and conservation, which is organized by Tropical Botanical Garden, Chinese Academy of Science, Yunnan, China. Tropical plant identification at Royal Botanic Garden, Kew, London. So this is the brief introduction of our today's eminent speaker, Dr. Falguni K. Seth. So welcome, ma'am. Now I hand over the session to Dr. K. M. Borse. Dr. K. M. Borse.
Rakesh. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sambhaji Patil. Now I request Dr. Falguni ma'am to present our audience of this national webinar. Dr. Falguni ma'am. Before that, I request Dr. M.V. Patil sir, principal of our college, to offer a bouquet to Dr. Falguni ma'am. Felicitate by offering a bouquet. Just to give a claps. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. M.V. Patil sir. M.V. Patil sir is offering a bouquet to Dr. Falguni Seth ma'am. Welcome, Dr. Falguni Seth ma'am. Please start your valuable, informative lecture to our audience who are eager to listen you. Please, ma'am. Unmute. Yes.
I first would like to take the blessings of my teacher, my mentor, Dr. Minu Paradia, because this is for the first time for me also to present my views on some, web platform. So, and that was a very fantastic lecture. In fact,
Ma'am, 1 minute, please. Please, there is audio. There is a voice problem. You just use your mic or this my phone, or make it near to you so that it is. Yes. Take 1 minute from your side. Be comfortable. Adjust yourself. Make your presentation ready, ma'am. Until then, I would like to say something. Plant a tree. Oxygen is not a free. I have no fear until oxygen plant more trees availability free. So a plant will never hurt anyone, even if it has become a tree. So plant a tree. Yes, ma'am. Please continue.
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, very right. It's a clear voice.
Okay. So yeah, thank you very much. And I first would like to thank my professor, my teacher, my mentor, Dr. Meenu Parabia sir. That was really a very fantastic lecture, in fact. And this is for the first time for me as well to host the seminar on web. Good afternoon to one and all present over here. At the onset, I heartily congratulate members of late Commonwealth Dr. P.R. Gugre Science College for organizing this national webinar on potential and application of indigenous bioresources. I thank the organizers for inviting me to deliver my views on ethnic knowledge-based recognition of plants having research potential and providing me an opportunity to interact with a learned audience. So friends, today we are going to talk on plants with research potential. As you all know, if you look at the floristic of this world, the total flowering plants so far reported from the world is somewhere 3,69,000. If you talk about our country, the number goes somewhere around 17,000. If we just look at Gujarat state where I'm belonging to, the number goes somewhere around 2,143. And out of that, total number of reported medicinal plants are 1,315. That says from the report of GIR in 2005. Of course, the number will increase much more. Being a student of field botany, we have been moving here and there in different areas, collecting a lot of knowledge on ethnobotany. Also, as we all know, Dr. Mashalkar has been instrumental in establishment of TKDL, that is Traditional Knowledge Database Library. I also worked at National Innovation Foundation, which is a DST institute, and the institute is solely devoted to work on scouting and documentation of this traditional knowledge. At the same time, they are also working on value addition and research and development on some ethnobotanical promising leads. I hope my slides are visible to everyone. Hello? Hello? Am I audible?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And my slides are visible?
Yeah, ma'am. Continue.
Okay, sure. Yeah, thank you very
Everything
much.
is clear, ma'am.
Okay. So many other noteworthy works has also been carried out across the country, and we have now a huge database available with us on use of plants as a medicine. Now, hence we have a great bonanza of this knowledge available with us, but when we look at pharmaceutical indices, the plant being used in the pharmaceutical preparations, like look at this status of medicinal and aromatic plants in India, a survey report by Ved et al. In FRLHT says that there are 1,289 drugs are highly traded and they are obtained only from 960 medicinal plants. When you even refer to our great Ayurvedic scriptures, the number goes hardly 600 to 700, not more than that. This suggests that there is a lot of scope available to take the ethnobotanical promising leads to take to the next level. So the areas which I could identify, which I could thought of where we can work both in fields or in laboratory are enlisted over here. And we will go in details one by one. Here are the different areas presented. The first one is plants having cultivation potential. Now, there are the plants either to be useful and collected from the wilderness. Now, when you collect the plants from the wilderness, obviously, there is the problem of greed. You collect excess of the material, and this greed actually leads to the exploitation pressure over these wild plants. And this kind of exploitation pressure has put many plants into the vulnerable conditions. Most of the drug manufacturing companies collect their raw material from the wild. This leads overexploitation, and at the same time, there is no steady supply of the raw material available into the wilderness. In absence of this genuine raw material, what these pharmaceutical industries will do, they will either not at all add that particular species into the drug, or they may add some arbitrarily selected spurious material into that. And that is not at all a good practice, because it will ultimately not give you the efficacy and it will bring ill fame to our herbal medicines. So in that case, the possible solution will be to have the cultivation of such useful plants. But again, any non-stem material, when has to bring to the farm, its total agroeconomics needs to be worked out. Because as we cannot just expect a farmer to do it at his loss. Right from collection of planting material to its viability, then good agricultural practices, yield, and finally how the market should be organized for that needs to be worked out. And obviously we should keep that in mind that it should be compatible with the cash crops like cotton, sugarcane, or groundnut, etc. Because ultimately we cannot ask any farmer to do it at if he's not going to get anything out of that. So in that case, agroeconomic databases can be very much helpful for cultivation of such species. Medicinal plant product may also be introduced to APMC, that is Agricultural Product Market Committee. We very well understand that APMC does not have this medicinal plant product in their purview, but at the same time, can we expand APMC limits to have the trades of this medicinal plants under their cloud system? Development of market strategies, avoiding middleman interference. This is very much important, because most of the time what happens that when the farmer is ready with his crop, when he's coming with his product, at that time, the farmers are not really organized. They are not really aware of the market system or the organized market system. And this pharmaceutical industry people, what they will do, they will just, the message will flew to the market, and they will come to know that, yes, here is the person who is ready with his material. And at that time, though they are in need of that, they will just send one or two buyers, and so that they can negotiate it at very poor prices. And so that what happens, that the poor fellow who has grown it will not get anything out of that. This buyer will buy the material from them and they will distribute it among them. So this is not really a good practice. Can we develop some market strategies for this? Another one is, can we have a model like Amul, which is Milk Cooperative Society? And as we all know, it's most successful model. So I had a thought that such cooperative society, medicinal plant cooperative society, will be beneficial over here. Another is e-commerce. Just like Tarabia sir has already mentioned that there is one website, eCharak, where trade of medicinal plants are online. But here I also wish that what if the farmer is of very smaller level, or there is no large scale production with him. So in that case, can we develop some e-commerce platform like Amazon or Flipkart for retail and wholesale trade of medicinal plants for both fresh material at the same time for some value added material? Next is, so here I have enlisted some of the plants which I think that they needs to undertake the cultivation. I'm not going to go into the details of each plants, but these are the plants which I have identified. The next point is standardization of compounded Ayurvedic drug. Now, you see, most of our herbal medicines or the Ayurvedic medicines, when they are being prepared, there are hardly few medicines which involves only single drug. Most of the drugs have more than one ingredient. Say, for example, Triphala, Trikatu, they have 3 ingredients. Bala Chatushtya, it has 4. Then Panchvalk, 5. Dashmul, 10. And the most famous, Sudarshan Churna, which we are almost of, we all almost are aware of, that is having 52 different ingredients. Now, what happens is that whenever our Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia is there, or whenever there is some sort of standardization procedures or standardization research are carried out, it is just only for one plant. Now, when there is a mixture of plant, obviously, the standardization criteria needs to be worked out. Why? Because when there is a mixture, dosing is very easy. You can um, arbitrarily substitute anything in that, and in absence of genuine medicine, you cannot get the results. Okay. Same way, specificity of a recommended part is also not maintained. Say, for example, if you take the example of some root drugs, especially the roots which are obtained from the herbs, they will collect the whole plant. They will not take care of that only the roots are used, roots are to be used. They will just make the preparation out of the whole plant. And as a result, herbal drugs are losing their efficacy as well as credibility. So it is our time to develop our own standardization criteria and methods of raw material as well as final product. Here I would like to say that China is quite far ahead because they have worked out their standardization criteria for all the traditional Chinese medicines. And because of that, this traditional Chinese medicines has earned a very good fame in the globe. Next avenue is comparative pharmacological evaluation, phytochemical evaluation of different parts or species. Why this is important? Let us take first example of asparagus species. Asparagus species is commonly known as Shatavari, but if you come to Gujarat, for Shatavari, there are 3 different asparagus species available. That is Asparagus racemosus, Asparagus gonocladus, and Asparagus ascendens. All these 3 different species and their roots are sold under the name of Shatavari. Now we are not really aware, or now we are not really sure whether all of 3 are similarly effective or Asparagus racemosus is more effective over these 2. That things really needs to be worked out. Same way, abutilon and sida, they are commonly known as bala. And it is sometimes what happens is that people are using sida when there is absence of abutilon, or if they don't get abutilon, then they will use the sida. So can we just replace abutilon with sida or sida with abutilon? It needs to be worked out. Same is for Ragat rohido. This particular plant is the raw material for a very potential anti-cancer drug, that is Rohitaka. And here there are 2 different species. One is Amura rohitaka and another one is Tecomella undulata. Both are being used as the substitute, or you can say as an similar plant for this particular drug. So while selecting this kind of things, we should first confirm that whether they both are really effective, they can really be interchangeably used, or can we develop some compounded formulation out of that. Another one is Amla versus Kakda. Amla, that is Amblyca officinalis. Most of the urbanites, they know it very well because it is now highly held for its vitamin C rich property, antioxidant property, and many more things. But when you go to tribal community, most of the time, wherever the amla is being used, they replace it with another fruit that is called as kakada in vernacular language, which is a garuga pinnata fruits actually. This kakada are also very rich in vitamin C, and they can also eaten raw, they can be pickled, and they can be used as a substitute of amla. Wherever you use amla, you can use kakada as well. So can we make some comparative studies of this two, and based on that, can we develop the recipes so that we can serve to our mankind very well? Next is plants of controversial identity. You see, most of the time what happens that our Ayurveda, being an ancient science, presented mostly in ancient Sanskrit language, and it has many lacunae in its proper understanding. Another thing is that most of the time, our literature is mostly in, to make it more interesting, it is mostly in poetic language. Sometimes the information is packed, overwhelming or overflowing information is packed within 4 lines or 4-line stanza, which is known as shloka. And initially there was a Guru Shishya Parampara. So normally what happens, the guru will share this shloka with their pupil, and they will also share the keys to decode that. Now, as we all know, India was under the ruling by foreign community for for somewhere around 800 years. And so that now we have, though we are with our scripts, our ancient literature with us, but that keys to solve that riddles are not available with us anymore. And so that what happens that sometimes we are really able to decode our Sanskrit language very properly, and we can come to the correct identification, but sometimes we are not really successful. And so that there is a controversial identity for some of the really useful plants. Say, for example, for Agnimantha, we are not really sure whether it is Fremna integrifolia or it is Clerodendron. Then another very good example is, you can say the Shankapushpi. Shankapushpi, there are quite a good number of members available. It can be either Evolvulus numularis, it can be Evolvulus alcinoides, it can be Canscura diffusa, it can be even Clitoria ternatia, and so on. Convolvulus microphyllus is also being used as Shankapushpi. So whenever there is some Shastrokta medicine, there is not the confirmation of any one species. So to mention a few, I have listed different plants over here. Similarly, Brahmi. If you go to West Bengal, for them, the real Brahmi is Bacopa monieri. But if you come to Gujarat, real Brahmi for Gujaratis is Centella asiatica. So there needs to be a proper check on use of such plants. Vernacular names, homonyms, synonyms, linguistic variation, and their modification have added to the confusion in deciding the correct identity. Because say, for example, if you say Rui, Madar, or Ankdo, there are two different species of the same plant. One is Calotropis procera and another one is Calotropis gigantea. And they both will come under the same vernacular name, that is Ankdo. Okay. The next one is conservation. Conservation is very much important because whenever there is the need of raw material, we always go to the wild. We collect excess of material, and because of that, the over exploitation pressure is constantly being threatening to the very useful plants. Another, which Parabya sir have already elaborated, that is the destructive method of collection, because most of the times whenever there is a collection of vital organs like roots, fruits, and seeds, when they have to dig out the roots, what happens that they will totally cut off the tree, and they will try to dig out the roots, especially when there is a tree species available. For fruits and seeds, what happens is fruits and seeds are actually the propagating material. But whenever the collector will go into the field, he will collect all the fruits and seeds. They will and he will not at all leave anything to the nature for the rejuvenation or for the natural propagation of that particular plant. Another one is when there is the collection from the bark is to be done, what happens is that most of the time, this collector will collect the bark from the main trunk. Now, when there is the main trunk bark has to be collected, we need to really develop some good method of collection. Otherwise, what happens is that they will just go into the collection so that it will create ringing of bark. This will create mostly like a wound to the plant, and plant will not be able to heal this wound, and so that there will be a secondary infection. Because of that, plant may die. Or in case of ringing of bark, what happens is that the connection between leaves and roots are not established, so that roots will not receive the food material that has been prepared by the leaves. At the same time, leaves will not receive the nutrients that has been absorbed by the roots, and gradually it will be kind of lethal damage to the plant, and gradually the plant will die. So another one is habitat loss. For urban development, we constantly cut down our forest area, and because of that, the plants in wilderness had really been threatened. So few of the species which needs immediate measure are listed over here. Next is, so what are the challenges for the conservation? The first one which I could identify is, can we develop some non-destructive method of extraction just like what we do in Nero? Paravya sir already have discussed this. Nero is actually an nutritive exudate that is being extracted from Phoenix dactylifera species or Borassus flambifer. Now, you see, we have developed the method in such a way that we just put a cut on the tree, on the stem, and it will exudate the material. And it will, of course, damage plants up to certain extent, but it is not lethally damaging to the plant. And so that the plant will give you the services for a long time. So can we develop such kind of non-destructive methods of collection? Similarly, what I'm proposing over here is, can we even develop non-destructive methods in that way? Like say, for example, if somewhere roots are being used, can we substitute that with branch bark? Same way, if main trunk bark has to be used, can we replace that with side branch bark or the plant parts, which is actually renewable, like leaves or flowers or fruits or seeds, which is renewable resources. So for that, we need to carry out the comparative phytochemical as well as pharmacological studies for to substitute such a plant part to be replaced with a renewable plant part. So we can have either species substitution. Here I would like to cite an example of Terminalia arjuna versus Terminalia crenulata. These two species are actually cardioprotective. Arjun is very famous cardioprotective drug. Now, Kirtikar and Basu has reported in his book that Terminalia crenulata has much more potential or much more effective cardioprotective effect than that of Arjuna. But most of the time, what happens is that whenever you go to the market, Arjun Churna is only available from Terminalia Arjuna. Of course, Terminalia Arjuna has thin bark, whereas Terminalia crenulata has very thicker out bark. And to get the inner bark is really tough, and it's very less, it is available in very less quantity. While for Terminalia Arjuna, right from the upper layer to lower layer, you can use it. But at the same time, this really needs to be worked out that whether we can really use Terminalia crenulata instead of Terminalia Arjuna, so that the exploitation pressure which has been created only on one plant species can be reduced. Another one, as we already discussed, plant part substitution. This is where I'm really interested to work on. Can we compare root versus bark profile, bark versus leaves profile, trunk bark or main bark versus side branch bark profile? If the profiles are comparable, we definitely can work that, yes, we can substitute this vital parts with the renewable parts. Another very important criteria is decide the proper collection time to ensure that natural propagation can take place. What I feel over here is that our Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia most of the time is ready with all the information, but not with the proper collection time. It's really very important to have the knowledge on flowering and fruiting time, because we feel that the collection should only made after the fruits are set, seeds are dispersed, so that natural propagation is ensured, and after that you can go for the collection. And hence, I request that there should be studies to be made for the prescribed collection time. Next is train tribal people and collector to adopt sustainable extraction. Sometimes what happens that the tribals are asked very low prices for that collection, and so that they will collect whatever material available into the forest, they will just collect it and sell it. Sometimes it is really lethally damaged to the plant, and so that if we have good collection practices research carried out, we can develop we can train them for the proper method of collection. Educate BMCs. A biodiversity management committee, Parabia sir has already addressed this.
But this one is very important for the conservation of these plants. Why? Because Government of India has correctly identified the importance of biodiversity, and they have also amended the Biodiversity Act. And now this under this Biodiversity Act, they have made it compulsory to have a biodiversity management committee locally available in the small pockets like village or rural areas. Here, the committee members are from the local public itself, and they have the rights to manage the biodiversity. At the same time, they can make benefit out of that also, so that just not unknown person just can go to their places and collect any material, and hence they really become a good stakeholder for the conservation of such plants. This is another avenue which I'm not really sure how to achieve this, but this one, if we can work out this will be really a great help to our plant medicine. Can we turn out our herbal medicines as if it is prescribed in homeopathic way? Why I'm telling this? Because this is our common experience that whenever there is some allopathic medicine or some Ayurvedic medicine has to be taken, the taste is not palatable. We have to swallow sometimes very large, capsules or large medicines. Even the, sometimes the smell is not really good. And if you go to Ayurvedic medicine, obviously we have to ingest some larger doses, and so that it becomes really cumbersome, or it becomes really, tough for us to take this kind of medicines. As compared to that, if you go look at the homeopathic medicines, they are very smaller in taste. They are really tasty. Rather, sometimes if the child is taking these medicines, they will ask for the more. So can we develop our herbal medicines into this homeopathic way of system? Because another avenue or another thing which I could think of over here is that if you have to take the Ayurvedic medicine for one patient for one dose, you may have to take 10 gram of raw material for preparation of one time decoction dose. But at the same time, from this 10 gram of raw material, if they have been prepared in homeopathy way, it is very much conservative in dispensing, because by manufacturing of by making the tinctures and by making the dilutions of that, you can serve thousands of patients from the same medicine. So can we really turn out this medicine in user friendly, dispensable across the counter, and palatable like in homeopathic way? I think Ayush can undertake and develop this kind of dispensing and compatibility rapporteur for Indian medicinal plants. Another one is synergistic and antagonistic effects of herbs. Just like us, plants also have, sometimes friendly relations or sometimes anemic relations. So plant-to-plant interaction needs to be studied really properly. So the first one over here is synergism. And the Ayurveda or our ancient scripture were really very well aware of this kind of plant-to-plant interaction. And so that they have suggested two different things. One is anupan. Anupan means that is a substitute which needs to be ingested afterwards you are taking the medicine. Say, for example, some medicines are prescribed with cold water, some are with hot water, some are with honey, sometimes ghee, sometimes buttermilk. So they know it that which plant has sort of a synergistic effect with which one. Similarly, there is one Yogvahi. Yogvahi, you can say it's a bioenhancer or kind of a biocatalyst, which itself is not actually being utilized maybe, but it can increase the efficacy of the plant it is added with. Say, for example, Guguli is being used as a Yogvahi in many different Ayurvedic preparations. So whenever we go for some mixtures, we need to study what sort of relations they may have. Another one is mitigation. Mitigation is kind of, you can say, detoxification process. In Ayurveda, there are many plants which they were already knowing that they are deadly poisonous plant, but still they are using as a medicine by detoxifying them, by follow the mitigation process. Say, for example, Aconitum ferox, that is our Vatsnap, which has to always be given with Sobhagya Pushpa Churna, chemically, which is sodium borate. You will never ever find any Aconitum ferox preparation without sodium borate. And the another one is, which is really important to take care of, is antagonism. Means here the plant will have the anemic relationship with another one. So it's a kind of enemy, and so that it will be deadly poisonous if this kind of combinations has been made. Say, for example, Papaver somniferum, that is our opium, or you can say aphid, that can never be combined with any datura preparation. Same way, Strychnos nux vomica can never be combined with alcohol. And Virudahar concept, which is really prevailing in our Ayurveda, and it also shows that you should not take some of the food with some sort of some nature food, and that concept is also there. Why I'm mentioning this over here is sometimes what happens that many of the pharmaceutical companies, without the knowing of this kind of things, they will just add up anything into their preparation. They will just make out their own preparations and they will come up with the new preparation into the market. They are not prescribed in Ayurveda, they are not Shastro. And so that whenever they have to come up with such kind of things, the whole research needs to be carried out before giving it to the humankind. The last one, which is really important, is validation of non-coded medicine. Here, what I am trying to promote is local medicines for local ailments. So what happens is that sometimes it is really important to develop some indigenous model for reverse pharmacological research, because uh, in our experience, I had one senior colleague of mine. She had worked on a very famous Ayurvedic drug, and that is Panchvalk Kwat, which is highly useful for wound dressing. It does not allow secondary infection. And when she just had subjected this plants to very simple antimicrobial taste, none of the plant singly or in a compounded formulation has shown they were failed to show the antimicrobial activity. But at the same time, they are really working very well in vivo testing, or you can say when they are being tested over human system, they are really working very well. So in this case, it's a failure of model, not the medicine. And we really need to work out some research models by which we can prove the efficacy of our traditional medicines. Another one is development of dispensable formulation conserving efficacy. Whenever Parabhyas sir already have traced upon on this concept, that whenever there is some sort of formulations needs to be prepared, at that time it is very much necessary that you try to study their shelf life. You try to study for how long they are really efficient to serve the purpose. Same way, shelf life study for prepared formulations, most of the data on this is really wanting. Standardization and quality control parameters for raw material as well as for the finished product. And to present my view, I have here taken the case study on Calotropis species. This particular study is just a part of the project that has been sponsored by DST. The project cost was nearly 65 lakhs, and that was a collaborative project between Virnomat South Gujarat University, SP University, and there was one pharmaceutical company that was Petlad Mahal Arogya Mandal Pharmacy. And the objective of this project was to develop a dispensable drug based on ethnic claim from Calotropis species, to standardize the product to ensure the production of quality drug, to identify the range of variations occurring due to seasons, and to conduct pilot clinical trials of developed formulation. Because Calotropis is one of the Calotropis is considered as one of the kalpavriksha in Ayurveda, but this particular use of Calotropis species on malaria is not mentioned over there, and we tested for that also. But here I'm going to present this particular species to be used on skin disease. So the achievements were pharmacognosy and phytochemistry of both the species had worked out. Intercomparison and intra-comparison of different plant parts of the same species has also been worked out. Seasonal variation has been worked out. Then we prepared the different formulations of that, out of that, and that was clinically evaluated on 363 patients. This is the plant which I'm referring to. The first species is Calotropis procera, and the another species, this one is Calotropis gigantea. Here, just I have put two before and after, clinical trials in patients. You can see how effective the medicine was because they were totally cured. This particular formulation was tried on 363 different patients of different skin diseases, and they were under the clinical trials for 9 months, and their overall results were evaluated on 8 different point scale, right from beginning of complete cure to excellent response to those who have actually abandoned the treatment. And if you look at the very good response, which is more than 50% of symptomatic relief, the success of this particular medicine was somewhere around 73%, which is actually really good, because most of the times, if you look at the allopathic medicines, they will just come up with the market product if they have the success rate of more than 20%. So this shows that yes, there is a great promise in ethnobotanical leaves, and we can definitely go for different research avenues. We can definitely have a huge avenues where we can really work. And so I really thank you for patience hearing. Thank you so much. Now, am I audible, sir?
You are audible. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam, you are audible.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for providing me such a good opportunity.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. Very informative lecture from your side. It is very nice to listen you, even though I am a person of a chemistry. Till myself feeling very good when I listening your PPTs. So many questions from audience are there. Before that, they are asking to share your PPT. Is it possible for you, ma'am, to share your PPT to audience afterward?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I'll do that, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Falguni, ma'am. Falguni, ma'am said that there are thousands and lakhs of the species of plants in India. These are medicinal plants which are useful for curing human diseases and play an important role in healing due to the presence of phytochemical constituents. India having a rich diversity of medicinal plants. Rich plant diversity has provided an initial advantage to the local people for scrutinizing various plant species for the purpose of food, medicine, perfumes, and spices. Medicinal plants are important source to combat the serious disease in all over the world. The presence of a different phytochemical constituent in the plant parts confirm their potential as a medicinal plants. So this is success of the topic of our national webinar, today's national webinar, potential and application of indigenous bioresources. Now we shall proceed with the question and answer sessions. The audience are welcome to put forward their queries, if any, before our esteemed speaker, Dr. Falguni ma'am. Initially, we will allow those who are raising their hand. I call up Dr. Rakesh. Please, if anybody is there who wants to directly contact on this webinar and raising his hand, please allow him to ask a question initially.
Okay, thank you, sir. I request Atul Wag, sir, to ask question. Atul Wag, sir.
Yes, sir. Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, I have two questions. If somebody is new in the field of ethnobotany, when he or she starts the study of ethnobotany in unknown area, what will be the first step of that researcher? What he or she had to do? And the second question is that, is there any workshop or any course by the UGC or any university for the ethnobotanical students or the research scholars?
Okay. According to me, to conduct the ethnobotanical survey of any of the area that is unknown to you, you first should have the knowledge about the geographical situation of that particular area. At the same time, you have to make the frequent visits so that you will have to be friendly with the local community over there. Start, go there and try to be friendly with them, interact with them, and gradually you will come to know about the plants and the plant tribal communication or plant and tribal interaction. You cannot just go directly to the community and ask your question. It's just like you are taking a gun and firing to anyone. So it will never work out. First of all, you should have the primary research carried out. You should also go through the literature, because most of the times what happens is that when you go to the tribal community, tribal people, sometimes they will give you the really genuine information, but sometimes you have to be careful while you are making your notes, because not all the information, because sometimes they make over exaggeration of the things. So you need to be really careful. And for if you really want to work on ethnobotany or something like that, there are some institutes which are really working on that. Say, for example, I mentioned National Innovation Foundation, who is actually working on the ethnobotanical data collection for the whole country. So you can definitely go there and do your, they also offer some, fellowships or some kind of volunteerships. So you can go there and just join that.
Two more questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Two more question only. Allow only two. Yes, yes, sir. Please.
I request Swapna Hire ma'am to ask question.
Sapna Hire, ma'am. Yeah, yeah. Ma'am, are you audible, Sapna Hire, ma'am?
Hire. Okay. Next, Rajeshwar. Hello. Hello.
Those who are raising their hands, please unmute your mics and directly you can ask question to Dr. Phalguni ma'am. Only two more questions due to the lack of time. It is not possible to take all the questions here on this platform. Instead of that, you can connect to directly ma'am through email or to personal call. There is a phone number and email address. We will provide it.
Sir. Next
Yes,
question
sir.
is from Rajeshwar Chaudhary, sir. I request Rajeshwar Chaudhary, sir, to ask question.
Welcome, Dr. Rajeshwar. Please ask your question.
Yes, yes. There are any anti-fertility in the plants? There are some plants which have the anti-fertility effect.
Ma'am, he is asking there are some plants having antibodies. Is it right?
Antibodies.
Antibodies.
Anti-fertility effect.
Anti-fertility?
Anti-fertility.
Yes, there are few plants which has not been recommended for the reproductive male, and they are anti-fertility. Say, for example, I think methi. Many a times this happens that people are taking methi for some arthritic disorders, but in a large quantity they can give you the adverse effects.
Yes, madam. Thank you, madam.
Yeah.
Very nice
question. Sir.
Yes,
one last question.
Yes, yes, sir.
I request Meenakshi Vaidya to ask question.
Yes,
thank you very much, sir, for giving me this opportunity. First and foremost, Dr. Phalguni said you've delivered a very, very good lecture, very informative. And I think Dr. Parabia, who was your mentor, you've been fortunate enough to be working under him, and it is very, very visible. I also work in the field with medicinal plants and all that. Just a word of caution when we are working on this is that if we are doing any kind of animal studies, we need to follow the OECD guidelines very, very strictly. Otherwise, it will not work. And same is true for ethnobotanical work. We cannot directly use it on human beings. So this is just a word of caution that I wanted to put. And of course, I wanted to compliment you on your wonderful lecture. Thank you, sir. This is a fantastic platform that you all have given all of us so that we could be benefited from such eminent speakers. Thank you very much.
Ma'am, introduce yourself. You are from?
I'm Dr. Meenakshi Vaidya from the Vice Principal of Science Faculty from Mirabai College, Mumbai.
Very nice, very nice. So many people from all these Maharashtra and all other states are connected with this webinar. It's a very fruitful webinar. This is the first day of a webinar. Still there is another second day. Hope all will be joined, and somebodies who are not joined, they are enjoying this webinar on the YouTube streaming and Facebook streaming. Tell to others also to be joined tomorrow with a huge participation. Definitely we will organize
1
such a
minute,
seminar.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Some questions from chat.
No problem. Take two more. Is it
Okay.
possible, ma'am? Dr.
Sure,
Falguni,
sir.
ma'am? Yes, yes. Please.
Yeah.
Dr. Rakesh, ask two questions.
Mali sir. Mali sir. Mali sir, ask two questions from chat.
Dr. Male, unmute yourself.
Yes, yes. Hello, ma'am. There are some questions from participants. They
Sure,
are
sir.
asking by Kishore Bhaskar how to take clinical trial on prepared formulation.
Okay, so that is a very good question. In fact, I have already mentioned that most of the time what happens is there is a prescribed models available. Hello, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Okay. Yes, sir. So that is what I have already discussed, that many a times there is the prescribed in vivo models available with us, but sometimes there is a failure of models, particularly when you have to really have to deal with these traditional medicines. So in this case, for compounded drug also you can follow the prescribed model, and if it so for prescribed medicines, if they are not working, in that case we need to develop our own indigenous research models.
Thank you, ma'am. Another question is from Dr. Tarannum from Aurangabad. Please suggest some herbal remedies for cholesterol.
For
Cholesterol.
Okay, I think it's a very big question, but still, since there is a scarcity of time, we can suggest that walnut is very best. You can take pure ghee as well. Normally, this happens that when you go to some allopathic medicines or modern medicine doctors, they are following the research and they will say that it's not good. But I'll suggest that you can go for the walnuts or you can go for even the pure ghee, because it is low in LDL and HDL. There are two different type of cholesterol available, and it is really good for the good cholesterol, so you can go for that as well.
Yes. The remaining questions, if anybody wants to be asked the questions, you can personally contact on the email ID or personal telephone numbers we will provide to you. So very nice lecture from Dr. Falguni ma'am. Falguni ma'am is indistinguishable in herself. I would like to say about Falguni ma'am, just like eagle, all the four birds find their shelter during the rain, but eagle can avoid the rain by flying above the cloud. So similarly, Dr. Falguni ma'am, hats up salute to you. Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. Now, this is the time for the vote of thanks. I can hand over the mic to Dr. Praveen Mahale. Please give the vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. First of all, I, Dr. Praveen Mahale, on behalf of SSUPS Sanstha, led Karmay Dr. P.R. Ghogre Science College, Dhule, and the entire organizing committee here together, extend our very hearty vote of thanks to Honorable Professor P.P. Patil sir, Vice Chancellor, KBC NMU Jalgaon, and Honorable Professor P.P. Maulikar sir, Pro Vice Chancellor, KBC NMU Jalgaon, for spending his valuable time and sharing their views and opinions with us. Thank you, sir. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for Honorable Baba Sahib Kunalji Patil, Chairman SSUPS Sanstha Dhule, for providing all necessary facilities during organization of this webinar. Further, we are grateful to Honorable Professor Minu Parabia sir for delivering the very informative talk on a medicinal plant, a bioresource for rural development. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your lecture and join with us. And we also grateful to Dr. Falguni Sheikh ma'am for today's talk. on ethnic knowledge-based recognition of plants having research potential. I also wish to express my gratitude to our principal, Honorable Balasaheb Dr. M.E. Patil sir, for providing encouragement and all necessary facilities. I also extend my thanks to all participants for joining us by Zoom, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and also for their enormous cooperation during this session. Once again, I want to state that we all are most grateful to all speakers. We thank for being with us this evening. It has been a great pleasure for us. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, Dr. Praveen Male, for such a wonderful vote of thanks. Really, it's nice. Regarding the webinar, I would like to say some few words. Here, there is no breakfast, no hoteling, no pandal, no traveling. Really, it's nice to be directly connected and share knowledge within a less span of time. So I really glad this webinar is fruitful to whole family of life science. Now, tomorrow there is a sharp at 2:15 we will meet, because tomorrow there is a two resource person, Dr. Naveen Kango, Professor Head, Department of Microbiology. Yes, sir. Dr. Haris Singh Gaur, Vishwavidyalaya Sagar, Madhya Pradesh. And another resource person, Dr. Farjin Parabia, Assistant Professor, Department of Bioscience, Veer Narbada, South Gujarat University. So now this is the last event. As every function ends with national anthem, I request all the participants, eminent personalities, and everybody to be raise yourself for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल नायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय 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 हे
Bharat Mata Ki Jai. Thank you, sir. Stay connected, stay healthy, stay at home, be safe. We will meet tomorrow. Please leave the hall now. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Today's session is over here. We will meet tomorrow at sharp 2:15. Similarly, the link will be provided on WhatsApp and email IDs. Please do connect tomorrow with all participants, your friends. Thank you, sir.